We're going to get things started right now, but we're missing a very important component to getting this thing started. We're going to need Joe Richards up here to do the actions for Pharaoh Pharaoh. If you don't know them already, we've got the best teacher in the world. Here's the host with the most, you know and love, Joe Richards!
So the challenge is, as a person who plays guitar all summer, I don't actually know the actions because I'm playing the guitar. But fortunately, it is true, I don't know the actions. But there are some campers in the audience who may be able to come up and help. Yeah, if you were a camper at Pearce Williams and it's just Pharaoh Pharaoh, easy actions. Come on.
We only need 11 campers. Is that okay?
Awesome. Oh, well.
We got one. We only need 10 more campers. Sweet!
Or if you were a staff or something, or like. Okay.
Nothing says summer like a tie-dye shirt. Well, we're here for one reason, right?
We're here to fill our cups.
Fill our cups. Let's get it.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved
It sounded rhetorical.
Well, I thought you would have a mini, okay, we want to be a sheep.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a little close in here today. I don't know if I need a woolly coat today, but it's fun to think. I could have used a herd of sheep to count last night when I was trying to get to sleep. That didn't work out.
So
But
what
I'm here, and I'm full of energy.
So what do we do on Ba Ba? Anybody know what we do on Ba Ba? Right, Ba Ba. Every time we do Ba Ba.
Oh, there's actions for this too?
Yeah.
There is.
Is that the only action is Ba Ba? Mary?
I didn't know that.
There are actions to every song if you put Pearce Williams people.
I'm going to guess there's some people here that don't know the actions, like me. I don't know the actions. Is there any chance that we could get some more people up here, some campers, doing the actions on this right here? I just want to be a sheep. Anybody?
Oh yeah, this is like the simplest song to do the actions to. Okay. Oh,
Love it.
yeah. Don't look at me for the actions.
I just wanna be a sheep. I just wanna be a sheep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. I just wanna be a sheep. I don't wanna be a Pharisee. I don't wanna be a Pharisee. 'Cause they're not Pharisee. I just wanna be a sheep. I just wanna be a sheep. I just wanna be a sheep. Pray the Lord my soul to keep. I just wanna be a sheep. Don't wanna be a hypocrite. I don't wanna be a hypocrite. 'Cause they're not there to it. I just wanna be a sheep. I just wanna be a sheep. I just wanna be a sheep. Pray the Lord my soul to keep. I just wanna be a sheep. Okay, we're gonna slow it down a little bit here now because it's the sad verse. I don't wanna be a Sadducee. I don't wanna be a Sadducee. Cause there's no Sadducee. I just wanna be a sheep. I just wanna be a sheep. I just wanna be a sheep. Pray the Lord my soul to keep. I just wanna be a sheep. Don't wanna be a goat. I don't wanna be a goat. 'Cause there's no hope for goats. I just wanna be a sheep. I just wanna be a sheep. I just wanna be a sheep. Pray the Lord my soul to keep. I just wanna be a sheep. I gotta see you. We're looking at a little sheepish at first, but you got onto it.
Over to Richard.
I apologize, there's no actions for the stuff I'm doing. I just have a hard time keeping up, so I hope all of you are agreeing that I'm holding there. Anyways, good morning and welcome to Pearce Williams. We are worshiping on land once occupied by the Chonatan, the Lenni Lenape, the Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee, the earliest inhabitants of this land. That evidence of a local village can be seen in the Southwold earthworks across the road here from Pearce Williams. One can only imagine what this area would have been like 500 to 600 years ago. May we grow in peace and harmony with the land and the people who still inhabit these lands. The Oneida, the Thames, the Chippewa, the Thames, and the Munsee Delaware Nation are our most closest neighbors. Welcome to our special joint service this morning between Central and First and various others as well that have joined us. It is good to be together in this place in a more natural setting than our church buildings. And just a reminder that there is a harvest celebration concert on Sunday, September 25th at 3 at First United. That's orchestra, vocal, instrumental, and organ pieces will round out the afternoon performance. And proceeds will be shared with St. Thomas Elgin Food Bank. Wayne Carroll is the organizer of this. Tickets are $20, and I've got a few out on this table here and at the back as well. And if you want to put your money in an envelope and just write concert or first concert, that would be great. That'll be appreciated. And I'll turn it over to Carl. He also has a musical announcement. I don't know if he's going to sing this or not.
I can play for you, Carl.
Does anybody like 1950s or 1960s music? Would you raise your hand? 3 weeks from today, so on Sunday, October the 2nd, at Century United, we're having a concert Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock with Frankie and the Fairlanes. And some of you may have been at some of their concerts before. Wonderful show. They, for those that haven't been before, they write a new show. Michael Lambert winters in Florida, so every year he writes a new show. So if you saw it last year, or 2 years ago, or before COVID, it will be new shows and different songs, but all from the 50s and 60s. And tickets are available online. You guys can keep me straight on this. But if you do have some challenges with that, you contact at our office and we'll help you get organized. Tickets are $20 a person, $10 for young folks 16 and younger. And it'll be a great concert, and the church's proceeds, profits from that will be going to our bursary fund, which is available for members of the congregation who are pursuing studies in religious things. So I'd like to see everybody out October the 2nd for a great concert at the church.
And today we have a couple of, actually, we'll do that. I had to pencil it in, but we'll do it later. Today is a special day, though, as we do have Austin Campbell with us. Austin, perfect. Yeah. I should be able to see the time, the low tie. Austin, as you may or may not know, is our new community engagement coordinator, and this is his first Sunday of worship with us. So welcome, Austin. I had the pleasure of spending some time on Tuesday with Austin and members of both churches' personnel committees. And I know he looks forward to meeting and working alongside each of you as well. And today, I've given Austin the job to help with the food presentation and preparation and distribution. So be nice to Austin so you can something in the And this service will be a little campy, so we hope you enjoy it. Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for the life of Queen Elizabeth II, who was a good and faithful servant throughout her lifetime and set an example for us all. We thank you for this day. We thank you for this time of fellowship. We thank you for this place. And we thank you for the counselors and staff of Pearce Williams. May we truly appreciate the many gifts, especially on this day. Amen. And my candle lighter is Addison, who I thought was going to be here today. So I'm going to ask Austin, would you mind lighting our Christ candle for us? That would be appreciated. See how he handles just being thrown out there on
We were fast.
oh, sure, getting the lighter. As well, please note that despite the fact that we no longer light a candle for our search team, that their work continues as they help with orientation and the transition in the shared ministry. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to those who continue to serve. Deb Allward, Vicki Casey, Rick Jackson. I'm trying to read these names slow so that Sherry Johnstone, Judy Land, Ann Lounsbury, Chris Ross, and Mark Snowsell. See, you're always going to have somebody who's there with you. We're all feeling your pain. And we may have to invest in a new lighter. That's one from home, so. It's got lots of fluid in it. Anyway, thank you. As we all know, Queen earlier this week at the age of 96. Her legacy is one of servitude, setting an example which we can all hopefully emulate. One of the anecdotes I heard this week was that she was asked what she would do if she would see the Lord's return to her during her lifetime. And she replied that she would look forward to the opportunity to lay down her crown at God's feet. With her passing, King Charles III ascends to the throne. Long live the King. And I invite you to stand and sing the British national anthem and the regal anthem for Canada. God save the King. Thank you. And finally this morning for my part, there are blank envelopes here at the front and at the back as well. Please consider making a donation to your please consider making a donation to your church today, or today you can also make one of Pearce Wings by using one of those envelopes. We would just ask that you clearly mark your envelope with First, Central, or Pearce. And if you can include your name and address to receive an official income tax receipt, that would be great. Appreciate it. And as we enter into worship, come let us adore Him, and may we all enjoy the fruits of the Spirit. A little segue.
Hi, is this Michael? Sure. Set up for, that's okay, we're totally fine. I'll pull it up a little bit. Just a touch, okay? I'm not gonna break it, promise. I was a DJ in a previous life. So fruits of the Spirit, we do need some actions, people, for this. So campers, if you're a camper this summer, come on up so that you can do the actions for the, I don't know, oh, you put these ones up is what you're saying. Okay. Coconut, banana, watermelon, is this what we're at? Some we might skip because it will make no sense to you unless you've been in our dining hall for the radio show, like watermelon, but we'll go and we'll have our people. So, let's just break that intro. Well, the fruit of the Spirit is not a coconut. Oh, sorry, there's an action. So you need to do the actions. And so the action is, for coconut, is you knock, or if you're worried about concussions, don't knock on your head, just close to your head, and you do the click with your tongue. So, okay? And then we'll get to, I don't know if you have other actions as well. Anyway, if you get to banana, we're going to do all the actions right now, people. So banana, you put your hands up, and then you yell as loud as you want. Peel, well, taking one hand down, not the second hand, because if you do this, that's, I don't know what that is. It's squish peel, and then you have, we'll skip over watermelon, so when we get to that part, we'll skip over it. Pineapple, you take 3 fingers, but you don't have them in front. They appear at the back of your head, like, whoop. And that is the sound. That is the sound we make. We'll add that in place of watermelon. Is that one of your favorites? It's great. Oh, and it's just thrown a wrench into it, we're all good. So, pineapple is whoop. And then guava, you shake guava. And dragon fruit, you look at them and do it loud. Yeah, dragon fruit. And then he just added pomegranate, which is new to our Fruits of the Spirit this summer. And pomegranate is, which was only added, FYI, because I ate a pomegranate one day and thought about it the next day while I was leaving the song. And then my daughter made the actions up on the spot. So we'll go for that. So it goes like this. Well, you're younger and we can trust your memory. Oh, sorry. To anybody who's not. So it goes, love, joy. Too fast. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Again. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Then we go to another action. We'll start with coconut first. We'll redo coconut, and then we'll just do the song, and whether they pay attention or not. If you feel like standing, you're welcome to stand as well. Well, the fruit of the Spirit is not a coconut. The fruit of the Spirit is not a coconut. If you want to be a coconut, you might as well hear it. You can't be a fruit of the Spirit, because the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Banana. The fruit of the Spirit is not a banana. Oh, you're much quieter than campers during the summer. The fruit of the Spirit is not a banana. If you want to be a banana, you might as well hear it. You can't be a fruit of the Spirit, because the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. What I'm realizing is during the summer when I have staff who actually sing, I sometimes don't sing because I don't know where the breath goes in that statement. Pineapple is next. The fruit of the Spirit is not a pineapple. The fruit of the Spirit is not a pineapple. If you want to be a pineapple, you might as well hear it. You can't be a fruit of the Spirit, because the Spirit is love, joy, peace, self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Guava. The fruit of the Spirit is not a guava. The fruit of the Spirit is not a guava. If you want to be a guava, you might as well hear it. You can't be a fruit of the Spirit, because the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Dragon fruit. Dragon fruit. Nice and loud. The fruit of the Spirit is not a dragon fruit. The fruit of the Spirit is not a dragon fruit. If you want to be a dragon fruit, you might as well hear it. You can't be a fruit of the Spirit, because the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And then pomegranate to finish us off. The fruit of the Spirit is not a pomegranate. The fruit of the Spirit is not a pomegranate. If you want to be a pomegranate, you might as well hear it. You can't be a fruit of the Spirit, because the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Then we speed that part up a little bit, since you're all ready. Ready? Are we ready? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control. Give them a round of applause. Well, that's close to family time. Well, that wasn't family time. Welcome to Pearce Williams, everybody. My name is Joe Richards. I'm the executive director here, and I've had the privilege of serving Pearce Williams since 2005. And so I've been here a long time, and nobody has let me go yet. So I'll just keep doing what I do, and this is a great program. So this is family time. Yeah.
Is that what you do with the stream?
That's That is one thing I do. We still use this pool even though we asked for a new pool. But that is one thing I do, is jump into the pool backwards, fully clothed. Yes, it's a great shot. I do lots of stuff at camp, but what I do most is just play guitar and chapel. So what you saw was one song. I do lots of songs. I have a cough that I've had for 6 months, so no worries from your end to my end. And that's why I opened every window in the joint. Because I worry about other people. What I have here is, one of the things you might notice, I love the color orange. I really like the color orange, and so I found this backpack when I was in Montreal last year, touring a child for university. One of the things I want to talk about with camp, is what the value of camp is. And for me, as a young farm kid from Dresden, Ontario, growing up on a tomato farm, and every day from when you were like 7 years and older, you would get up if you were at home, you'd go out to the field, and you'd grab a hoe, and you would walk up and down hundreds and hundreds of acres of beans and weeds, because Monsanto hadn't killed everything. So, but one of the things I loved was going away to summer camp. Who loved summer camp when they went to summer camp? Who still loves summer camp? It's a great place. One of the things I learned at summer camp that I didn't know beforehand was how to juggle. And this is one of the things I love with kids. Wouldn't it be awesome if I just held on to these 3 objects during this entire talk and never juggled? That'd be great, because that is what's called suspense with zero followers. So, my first CIT, my first counselor training when I was a counselor, was a juggler. He's still a juggler to this day, 30 years later. And so he taught me how to juggle. And that is as simple as it is. You're just throwing a ball from one side to the other. That is as simple as it goes. And when you want to get special, you throw 2 balls from one side to the other. And that is essentially juggling. Real good? And then when you throw 3, it is juggling. And you can do like strange things. You can go to the outside. If you get really bold, you can try and throw one over your back. Then it falls. One of the things I love about summer camp is that summer camp leads our kids, and hopefully leads people to learn new things. There is flame close by, which makes it more dangerous. Side note, I didn't think about this, but I could have brought my flaming torches down. Because there is no fire safety equipment in this building. Because there doesn't need to be. Trust me, I know well what needs to be in this building, and it's not fire safety equipment. One of the things I love about camp is that we take campers and they learn new things. And what I love about camp in general, and I hope people find in their life somewhere else, is this idea that it's not only about finding new skills, it's about being introduced to new things that you might never see. So if I wasn't a camper at Kennesaw Camp growing up, with the same CIT who did juggling, who also happened to bring a straitjacket to camp to do like escapes, I would have never known that I could escape from a straitjacket. I weighed a lot less then. I might not be able to escape from the straitjacket today. But I also might not know that clubs are something you can juggle or drop. These are choices, and you would think that I can do it. But one of the things about camp is it's unimportant what you can do. It's important that you try and introduce things that are new. And so these are juggling clubs, and I have not juggled these clubs in a little bit, so we'll... Okay, so here's what happens at talent shows at camp all the time, is kids get up and try things that they have not done in front of you as parents, or in front of you as grandparents. They just try new things because they're at camp, and they know that everyone's going to be very supportive. So are you supportive of my juggling attempts? You're like, what else is in Joe's bag of stuff? Knives? Flaming torches and knives are very similar in their thing. One of the things at camp is that we hope we introduce kids to things, and staff members to things that are simple brand new to them. Things that they simply don't know either what they are, or they don't know what they do. I would have zero idea what these were unless I had come to camp and learned to do things at camp. These are what are called cigar boxes. And so it's a very different form of fascinating, isn't it? They're very colorful. This is what you want. You want curiosity. You want to introduce things that people wouldn't have seen in person, that they couldn't touch. This is what we attempt to do again. I did this morning in my house. And I have not zero. I have limited practice time of these over the past 15 years. I buy things. Thankfully, my wife allows me to buy things. For the reason that we had a rule in our house that we could not let our kids grow up with uninteresting things. Which then allows me to buy whatever I want. It just makes it all interesting. So these are cigar boxes, and what happens is, the idea is that we introduce new things. Whether or not I can do them is totally beside the point. Now, in today's world, somebody's going to go home. On YouTube, they're going to type in cigar boxes to see someone who can actually accomplish what I'm about to. So the idea is, just wait, I got trained by a guy from South Carolina. This is an actual, so, do you want to know it looks funny, but the part is that you might try and just do it without any motion, but you want it to be lifted in the air. I wouldn't know this unless So, that is cigar boxes. But the lesson here for family time is that camp and life should be full of interesting things so that we spark curiosity in people. And that is really what we're going for. And so my hope to you is that today at camp, if you go for a walk and you see something, feel free to ask questions, because I'm here. I can answer questions. We have another retired camp director who's been on site for a long time. Bill, can you stand up for a second? I give Bill zero warning. So you can ask Bill questions about camp or buildings or things, and we have lots of stuff that's going on around camp. So that is just the idea of sparking curiosity and creativity. So if we could take a moment to get into our comfy prayer positions. And what that at Pearce, that's what we call getting ready to pray. And we don't care how you do it. We just say comfy prayer positions. Dear Lord, thank you so much for being here with us in the sounds of nature outside and the wind flowing through the building and in the laughter of those around us. Please be with us and open our hearts as we are here to learn. In your name we pray. Amen. Awesome. It's funny that we go from family time directly into the message. I'm going to let you in on something that I may or may not have already given away. I'm not a minister. I am just a summer camp director. And it is something I love to do with all of my heart.
Is this better? Are you good? I will use the mic if you force me to, but during the summer, we never use microphones at camp. Well, except for the morning show, but the morning show is something completely different, where we have a morning show. My life at camp has been, as I said, I grew up in Dresden, and I grew up going to Canicery Camp, which is half an hour down the road from here. And right now, my brother is the executive director at Canicery Camp. A couple of things. My parents met at Canicery Camp. Both of my brothers met their wives at Canicery Camp as well. So for me, camping is in the family. It is what we do. I decided to run away so that I wouldn't meet my wife at camp. Because I'd already looked around and decided none of those are the people who would mean that to me. I went to Lincoln University for outdoor rec, ended up meeting my wife, which, ergo, I went to outdoor rec so I could be a camp director for the rest of my life. And so far, so good. I have another 10 to 13 years before retirement. I think I'm solid. I think I can do this. One of the things I want to do, and I will need a bit of help for this next part, is I want to everyone in the room to get one of these cards. So if I get like 4 people to come out and help, so you can take their sets of 10. Oh, and here you go. Here you go. These cards aren't necessarily for you to keep. These cards are for you to open and read. One of the things we do at camp, and this summer we had our theme for this summer was Here I Am. Now, I cheated a little bit because our theme for 2020 was also Here I Am, but we never ran camp in 2020. And I had a whole curriculum based on Here I Am. Here I am to worship, here I am to give, here I am to help. These are all the things we talk about. What you're holding in your hand, and when you open it up, these are thank you cards that our campers write to donors, to people who give to camp. So imagine if you're a donor, and in the mail, you get a card like this. And you can look at people beside you, because there's different, some kids write lengthy, some kids choose not to write lengthy. More power to them. Some of our staff write a card every week, and it's a thank you card to really help our donors understand the value of camp. And from here, if you want to look out this window, you can see a weeping willow tree over there by the bee box. And that is what we call chapel tree here at camp. And chapel tree is where these cards are written. So they sit on the grass. We coach them through how to write a card. Some kids are better at being coached than other kids. The reality is, what I would love, and what I love is, this morning I read through, there were 70 cards handed out here. I read through 170 cards this morning to choose which ones we would keep for donors. And the majority we keep, and I brought 70 in to share with you. I want you to understand the power of camp, right? That we are here, we're here to show God's love. And we're here to try and make sure that kids get an experience that they might not get. When I read through the cards, one of my favorite Bible verse is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. We have a song called I Can Do All Things. And it's a crowd favorite during the summer. And when I see these cards, and I see things come up again and again, it makes me wonder why. So when I see that people love swimming, that's awesome. Maybe they don't get to go swimming at home during the summer as much. When I see people who say the food is the best, it makes me wonder, are some of these kids not getting food at home? When I see that they say they love my little orange bike, I just giggle and send that card to someone I know as a donor. But it's this idea that what camp gives is this community to kids that they might not have somewhere else. And these cards, and when we're done this, we can set the cards back on the table so I can send them out to donors. And if you're thinking of giving, you might get one in the mail. But the power of camp to me is in the idea that it's not the same thing to everyone. It's slightly different. And it's not the same thing to some parents as it is to other parents. And it's not the same thing as it is to some staff to other staff. We just came through our first summer after the pandemic that we ran, and we had fewer campers than in 2019, which is to be expected. But we had fewer staff, but we had the right number of staff for the right number of campers, which was the plan from the get-go. We weren't short-staffed. We did have to let some campers go home because kids can be challenging, and our staff don't have the mental resources to sort that out as quickly this year as they might have in the past. What has happened in the past 2 years with the pandemic is that these people haven't gotten away from their families into a place where they can find community with others and learn the self-regulation saying earlier that one of the things I noticed was sitting in the dining hall at a table that's similar in size to this. Kids won't ask to be passed something. They'll literally get up from that end to come to this end and grab it. And I've tried to train our staff to be like, stop, have a seat, ask for what you need. You want the salt and pepper? We can pass the salt and pepper. But it's simple things like this that we have to retrain or train people on. And this is where camp for me, if you can imagine being a farm kid, camp for me was just a week of refuge away from having to get up every day and do what at the time seemed like hard time and labor walking up and down fields, which I got paid for. I believe it was like, I don't even know what minimum wage would be in like the early 80s. What are we at, $3, $2.50, $4.25? Well, you weren't utilizing $4.25. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I have a distinct memory of my first summer being a camp counselor at Camp Siri. I was paid $24 a day. No, just wait. I might have been paid $60 a week, which would be $12 a day, so 50 cents an hour if you went to the 24 hours. I've stopped doing the math that way because nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares. But what I really would like, I love having people back to camp. This is something that's happened after the pandemic as well. You're our first church service for the United Churches that have been here since the pandemic ended. And that's huge. We've had a lot of our groups this summer have been massive that have come to camp. And what that shows us is that there's denominations and groups out there that need to be and want to be in community. Just last weekend, there were 200 people here on site for a weekend. FYI, I don't have 200 beds on site. So they had tents, like little tents all up and down the laneway, and that's what they did. They just wanted to be together, and this is the value and the power of camp. As you read through these cards, and as you see someone next to you, and when they come back up to the table afterwards, if you want to pass them out to the center row, somebody can pick them up in the center row. You can go through them and read them and see the effect that camp has on people. And reading through 170 of them this morning, a week and a bit after camp ended, reminds me of what we do now. The classic question that a camp director gets is, what do you do the rest of the year? And the answer is nothing. I do nothing. I was saying earlier that we already have next year's date set. We already have all of the planning. We need to open up November 1st for all of those things and start staff hiring again. And it's just a cycle that we go through. For us, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And our hope is that if you have young people in your life, that you find a place for them at campus this coming summer. One special thing, starting in October, we're going to have a very special mentorship program where high school kids can join and get together once a week in this very building. And that's through a grant from the Westminster College Foundation. And so that's for high school kids. We're disguising it as a mentorship program because we're going to use it as a staff recruiting tool. But also, if they choose not to come to camp, then they can still learn a bunch of things that take them to be better people elsewhere. Just a second. You may or may not be able to tell I didn't write this out. I don't have a script. I don't think about it that way. One of the things about summer camp, and if there's campers in the room, they would certainly notice this, especially if they've been campers more than just 1 year. One of the favorite things you'll see on some of the cards is that they love chapel. And that is my one thing that I do in front of kids. That's why some kids leave camp believing that all I do is play guitar. Totally fine with that. If that's how kids leave camp, then I've done the rest of my job successfully. And staff, we used to give staff chapel as time off. So we would have their kids, it's a large group, we can manage this whole group as one thing. And then we found out that those staff were still coming to chapel during their time off. And we had a chat with some of them, we're like, why, it's your free time. And they're like, oh, but we just love chapel. And every time I think about those things, I think, I should put more effort into chapel. Or, I should keep doing chapel the exact same way I'm doing it, because that's what they love about it. And this is a hard thing about camp, is how do you know what creates the magic? How do you know what makes people want to take an hour of their free time to come and worship and be in community? So I've fallen on I'm not going to put any more effort into it. I'm just going to do what I always do. And it was great to be back. And this is the thing that our hope is, that when kids leave camp and when people come to camp and see it, that they leave camp knowing that they're loved. Knowing that God loves them, knowing that there's people who love them and they see great role models. These are the things that camp is going for with campers. With staff members, when we have people who become CITs or counselors, our goal is that they leave camp as better people. If you're a business owner in town and you want a good staff member, we want one of our camp staff to be able to fill that role and do what needs to be done to give you the most amazing experience. And those are really, that is the guiding principle of camp. Show people their loves and have people leave as better people. And so I'm just blessed that I get to do it, and blessed that we have a community of Elgin County and of your churches that help us to do that. And I just want to thank you for helping make it possible. And if you have questions, I'm around for lunch as well. So yeah, I think I'm good, Richard. Yeah, I never know how to end things. I can juggle. No, I'm just apparently I can't juggle. I need to practice. Okay. Thank you so much.
And again, I can attest to the positivity of camp and so on. Our three children, they come to camp, and again, the growth and development and just the confidence that comes out from being leaders and so on is very special. So thank you so much. And let us pray. Creator God, we thank you for the lives of those assembled and those who are part of our church family. We especially thank you for the life of the only monarch many of us have ever known, Queen Elizabeth II. We thank you for those who are our senior and who have paved our way and who have made our life easier. We pray for our current generation to have the wisdom to do what is right. And we also thank you for those who will follow as they navigate the errors of our ways to make a positive difference for those who follow them. Lord, we seek your blessing on the people of the Ukraine as they continue to fight a war that has been brought upon them. We ask for your blessing on the James Smith Cree Nation as they struggle to heal from the horrifying crime that occurred there. We seek your blessing for the new king, King Charles III, and a blessing on each of us here today and for our extended families. There's much to celebrate, Lord, and we especially ask for your blessing on Sandy and Bud Westaway on the occasion of their 60th, Rick and Winnie Jackson on their 50th, and John and Kathy Walsh on their first week. And all those celebrating special occasions in the coming days and weeks. We thank you for natural places like Pearce Williams. Help us to enjoy our surroundings today and to stop and smell the roses. Help us to keep you in the forefront of our minds this week as we recite the prayer taught so long ago. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And I invite everybody to join in as we sing Happy Anniversary.
Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to all of you. Happy anniversary to you. Be it 1 year, 1 week, or however many.
Exactly. Good stuff. Thank you and congratulations. So we're going to do the benediction, and then I'm going to give you some instructions about barbecue and so on, what the afternoon looks like. And the benediction's here on the front. Joe created it, so
I pulled it off the internet from the United Church at one of the campus Sunday services. We can read it together. Take the warmth and light represented by this fire into your lives. Take the warmth and light of God's love into your lives. May the fun and faith of church camps reside in your minds and hearts, and remember to pass it on.
How are we going to work this?
we have something we do that's really special too, actually, before we get to the barbecue. I'd like to ask Sandy Buck to come forward since they're celebrating their 60th. They've got a special job today. We know that Reverend Paul Browning is going to start with us. His first service is going to be on October 9th. And then the covenanting service, when we covenant with all the staff, that'll be taking place October 16th. In fairness, we know that people will want to attend both services, probably, and with that in mind, we thought, well, we'll draw out a hat to see which church will do the October 9th service, which church will do the October 16th service. So I'm going to, you didn't bring your hat out. Give you a push up, I'm just kidding. So we're gonna just put that names on a ticket, and then they'll draw from it.
63 years ago, I was a counselor at this camp. He was the secretary. One of my girlfriends, Faye, actor, she confessed her.
Good stuff. So, just to verify, we got two cards here. One says First, one says Central. Put them in the hat. And drum roll. Drum roll.
So this is for who's supposed to the October 9th service. That will be Central. So perfect. So Central will host the October October 9th service that Paul does, his first service, and the understanding or expectation would probably be that we all attend that service, and then the October 16th covenanting service will be at first. Okay? Awesome. So that's all we have.